Not the best week when it comes to Pokemon, unfortunately. There's been some drama. Pokemon always kind of has drama, but this is kind of brought upon by themselves, by the Pokemon Company International directly. And I got a lot of questions about this yesterday in my stream, going over Fusion Gate or Fusion Strike Gate or the stolen Fusion Strike cards. So I kind of wanted to address things a little bit. I'm not going to go into too much detail about what happened. There's so many great content creators out there already that you can kind of watch going over all of the information that kind of unfolded when it comes to these stolen Fusion Strike cards. So we're going to touch on it a little bit and then briefly talk about the market and what kind of ramifications we're expecting as far as price goes. If it's going to go up on some of these singles, if it's going to go down on these singles. I opened up a lot of Fusion Strike. Pull rates didn't seem to be too different for me when I opened up. You did our mass opening, compiled pull rate numbers and things like that. Fusion Strike, we actually completed closer to a master set for that set than we did with Chilling Reign and Evolving Skies, which was expected because even though Fusion Strike was the biggest set, it had significantly less ultra rares in it than what we saw from Evolving Skies and Chilling Reign. So I don't necessarily believe the idea that pull rates were impacted, but the statement that Rattle Pokemon kind of went over this morning, there was a couple things that didn't necessarily sit right with me in that statement that I want to address and then kind of get your feedback on this, and then as well as what ramifications you think it's going to have in the market. But before we jump into that, I do want to remind you guys, we are going to be celebrating our 100,000 subscriber milestone next weekend. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday at 1 p.m. and we are going to be opening up 3 vintage booster boxes and giving everything inside away. So we've got Team Rocket, Stormfront, Rising Rivals. We're going to have 100 winners. It's going to be a 100 subscriber pack break, and everything's going to be free. It's going to be an absolute blast. I don't know the exact date. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday of next week at 1 p.m. Central Time. All the hits are going to be graded by CGC for free with a special commemorative logo at the top, kind of just celebrating the event. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to enter, hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and then the link in the description over to Gleam. Everybody just gets an entry. Just go enter your name, your email address. That's it. Boom! You are entered, and we're going to draw all the winners next week, Saturday or Sunday, live, and then open up those packs. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be an additional 8 packs, obviously. We'll just give those away during the stream, but I can't wait to celebrate with you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you have given me. This is kind of the images that we're talking about when it comes to Fusion Gate or Fusion Strike Gate. So this apparently is from a storefront that's located down in Texas. I have worked with this storefront before, but somebody sent them all of these Fusion Strike cards that allegedly they got unethically. They maybe worked for a printing company, and like I said, the details you can find on Rattle Pokemon. Twice Baked Jake did a video on it. I mean, Pokerev did a video. There's so many different content creators out there. Opossum Bud, who did videos kind of going over all the details that you can kind of look into. But basically, you can see the folding table over on the left-hand side there, stacks and stacks of alternate arts. It almost looks like somebody just got God boxes of Fusion Strike, which we had kind of released in Canada, just opened up a bunch of cases and started piling up all these different hits. Absolutely insane. The picture on the right is just another image that kind of leaked later on. There was another image that leaked over a bunch of Rainbow Rare Mew VMAXs. I don't know how they all tie together, but it really starts making you ponder what's going on with the Pokemon Company International. But there is these were apparently sent to the store in Texas to sell, and they ended up passing this over to Pokemon and letting them know, hey, we got a huge lot in. It seems a little shady, and Pokemon ended up seizing the product, and there was an investigation that was done, and like I said, the details are better on other channels. But it's crazy to think about that something like this could happen and would happen without the knowledge of the community behind it. And that's really what kind of irks me behind the whole thing, because this happened, from what I'm understanding, over a year ago. This had already occurred. So I would have liked a little bit more transparency, and that's really kind of the main thing when it comes to this and my thoughts behind it all. When there is opportunity for people to do shady things and then benefit from it, people do shady things to try and benefit from it. A lot of people, unfortunately, do those kinds of things. And I shouldn't say a lot of people, some people will do unethical or shady things in order to take advantage of opportunity like that. And it's very sad and it's very unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way of the world. So you would hope that this wouldn't impact our pull rates or anything like that, but I can understand the concern. And I think if Pokemon would have just been a little bit more transparent and upfront when this all occurred, I think it would have sat a lot better with the community. And I think that brings a lot of doubts to the community's minds when things like this happen and leak out a year after the fact. It starts bringing, well, why weren't we made aware of this from the beginning. And I understand that they have confidentiality and they have investigations that need to unfold and things like that. They don't want to release too much information, but the likelihood of it not getting out is very, very slim. It's going to probably get out. So getting in front of it and being like, hey, just so you know, we can't comment on this, we can't talk about this, but we wanted to let you know, make you aware that there was a bunch of Fusion Strike Ultra Rares, alternate arts, rainbow rares, things like that, that did make their way out of circulation, that hit the market. We have taken possession of them. We have seized them. They were not obtained ethically or legally. We have recovered them all. Just wanted to let you know so that way we can keep it 100 with you, be completely transparent. It's not going to impact anything that you guys purchase when it comes to Fusion Strike, but we wanted to make you aware of the situation. Rattle Pokemon does a great job of kind of investigative journalism, goes over everything, really does a great job of kind of getting the story here for everything. And he has really kind of unfolded a lot of information, talked about how it didn't impact pull rates and things like that. But he talked earlier today in his most recent video about the statement that Pokemon released. So rather than grabbing the statement from the actual website, I want to take it from Rattle's video just because give credit where credit is due. But the part that I want to highlight right here that kind of irks me the most, and this is my thought process behind it, is I don't know who wrote this or why it was stated this way, but I wish it would have been stated a lot better because this does not add clarity, at least in my opinion. So, however, we can confirm that Sword and Shield booster packs and products were shipped to retail. First of all, Sword and Shield, I understand that's the generation, but we're talking specifically about Fusion Strike here. We're not talking about Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield is a set of its own. I get it's a generation, so it is technically Sword and Shield Fusion Strike, but it should have been Sword and Shield Fusion Strike booster packs and products were shipped to retail as intended. And then the part that bothers me is retail. Like this word right here brings a lot of questions to mind. So why are we saying retail? Like retail in my mind is big box stores. You're not including small business owners. You're not including LGSs. Those would have gone to distribution first. We're not talking about necessarily just retail stores. So I would have ended the sentence just at shipped as intended and not included retail there. That irks me a little bit because obviously the questions about all this was it impacted the first print run. Well, back when Fusion Strike came out, a lot of big box stores weren't selling booster boxes. They were selling sleeve boosters. They were selling booster packs. They were selling 3-pack blisters, things like that. So what if this impacted specifically booster boxes that would have gone through distribution and then would have been shipped to LGSs? Unfortunately, I just don't think it was worded properly there. So we're shipped to retail as intended. I wish it would have just said we're shipped as intended. So it doesn't add a whole lot of clarity there. And the last thing is we value the faith our fans put in us and our products. If you value the faith our fans put in us and our products, why? That's where the transparency issue comes to mind. So I wish they would have at least, if you do value our opinion, and I know what Pokemon does. I know Pokemon, like I love Pokemon. I love the Pokemon Company International. I just want to call it like it is. Like if you value it, then come forward sooner. Like just say something sooner. Just tell us, hey, just so you know, this happened and it's not going to impact anything. Rest assured, we've got it all taken care of. We've got it all under control. But apparently this is the biggest issue they've ever had with Pokemon cards, the largest amount of money that has been recovered in stolen goods by the Pokemon Company International. That's something that maybe you at least want to shed a little bit of light on. That's my own opinion, and I understand, like I said, confidentiality. You don't want to induce copycats or anything like that, but at the same time, I just wish there was a little bit more transparency in the matter. So that's my thoughts behind it all. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Like I said, I don't want to go too much into the details or anything like that. I still trust Pokemon. I still love Pokemon. I just wish this would have been worded a lot differently because this does not sit easy or sit well with me, and I wish it would have been communicated better and there was more clarity behind it all. So that's my thought behind it. What is going to happen to Fusion Strike? Well, Fusion Strike has been blowing up. Fusion Strike has been blowing up for the past year. Obviously, booster boxes, supply and demand, not happening. Reprints, not really coming. We had a small restock of Brilliant Stars. We had a minuscule restock of Astral Radiance. That's pretty much it. Hasn't impacted prices at all and probably won't because it was so small. You're talking about huge stores like Troll and Toad getting minimal amounts of cases to kind of replenish inventory. So it's not really going to hit the market too much. But Fusion Strike has blown up over the past year up until a few months ago. Now, a lot of this is driven by content content creators. A lot of this has been driven by content creators, unfortunately, but also just because supply and demand isn't there. There's not a whole lot of Sword and Shield era booster boxes that are really available at decent prices because supply isn't there anymore to meet the demand. People were moving into Scarlet and Violet, and with that, Sword and Shield generation boxes are kind of starting to become in limited supply. So you can see what's happened over the past year. $89.24, the one-year low, which it hit in May of 2022, started slowly going up all the way until December of 2022, and then blew up, went up like crazy all the way up until about $138, $139, which is really close to that MSRP level of $144. But now it's kind of leveled off right around there over the last couple months. So it'll be interesting to see how this impacts it, if it impacts at all. Personally, I don't think it's necessarily going to do anything. I don't think it's going to impact the prices one way or the other. I think that some people would be more likely to buy booster boxes because of the news that broke out, and some people will be less likely to buy booster boxes because of the news that broke out. They're going to, kind of level each other out, and then it's just going to kind of stay relatively flat and grow the way that it is supposed to grow, I guess. So 138.32 is where it's currently sitting. If you look at the actual case of Fusion Strike, lets you get boxes a little bit cheaper. A lot of people do enjoy buying cases of a product. You can see this is also blown up, especially over the past few months. In April of 2022, it was down to $534.19. Very, very cheap. You're looking at less than $100 per booster box at that price. It's closer to that $80 mark, right around there. Not too bad at all. And then slowly started trickling up until December before starting to blow up again, sitting at $765.38 currently. So that's a one-year high for Fusion Strike booster box cases. If you look at the Pokemon Center ETB, this is the exclusive ETB. Not a whole lot of movement when it comes to value, but you're still looking at about 17-18% growth just over the past few months. You can see going downward trajectory pretty much throughout the entirety of 2022, all the way up until December, where it hit a one-year low of $62.48, and that's when it really started taking off. So it's sitting at $71.62. This is the Pokemon Center exclusive version, so different than the normal ETB. Booster packs is always a fun thing to look at, because booster packs, as they become in less and less supply, and as they start disappearing from collection boxes, which is going to happen with Fusion Strike moving forward, because you've got a lot of other sets that are probably going to be put in those instead. You're going to have Silver Tempest, you're going to have Scarlet and Violet. So not as much focus is going to be given to Fusion Strike, even though there was probably a plethora of loose packs that were available. In May, June of 2022, it hit a one-year low of $2.46 per booster pack. And slowly, look at that chart, just very slow organic growth, but doing a very, very good job. Hit $3.22 as a one-year high. That was in March of 2023. Backed off a little bit, sitting at $3.10, but still 36 of those, over $100. Still Fusion Strike moving in the upward direction. Gengar VMAX, this is the one that's really just continued to climb, and Gengar is just one of those Pokemon that will continue to grow in price because it is so popular. If you look at the tag team, really all holographic Gengars sell for a decent price point, better than just bulk pricing, which not every Pokemon can say. But look at how low the Gengar VMAX was in May of 2022. It was down to about $100.23. It's almost doubled in price over the past year. It hit $191.05 a couple weeks ago, so it's backed off a little bit, but still sitting at $186.63. You can see that giant boom that it had in October of 2022. That was really when all the alternates just continued to grow crazy. But Gengar, just a really popular Pokemon. Even that regular art Gengar and Mimikyu VMAX, or Gengar and Mimikyu GX from Team Up, I think it was from Team Up, or Cosmic Eclipse is what it was from. But even that regular art card, just a regular art GX, selling for $30. Just Gengar as a Pokemon, just very, very popular and continuing to trend. Espeon VMAX, not as lucky. It hit a wall in December of 2022. It's kind of come back down to earth a little bit. It's lost about $30 in value. You can see in July of 2022 it was right around Gengar VMAX territory at $103.54, then shot up, really following the trend of Gengar VMAX and a lot of other alternate arts. It hit $168.98, so almost at $169 in December, and then it backed off considerably. It's lost about 20% over the last few months, so it's sitting at $132.35 currently, trending in the downward direction. Mew VMAX is the alternate art, also started going backwards a little bit, not as significant as what we just saw from Espeon VMAX, but still lost about 10% over the last couple months. You can see its one-year low in July of $63.85, and then really started skyrocketing until February, where it hit $90, and now it's backed off to $82.36. The alternate art Mew V, the good thing about Mew is it is still very competitive. Unfortunately, these price trends not following suit with a lot of the other alternate arts that are in the market. In July of 2022, this one was down to $36.38. Skyrocketed in September, like what we saw from other alternate arts, hit $47 $22.35 as a one-year high. Now, it's only lost about 10% of that over the last 4 months or so, sitting at $43.53, but definitely heading backwards instead of forwards. Here's that Mew VMAX Rainbow Rare that we were talking about before. This one has been trending downward really over the past year. You can see in April of 2022, it was at $55.15. Now it's sitting at $34.25. That's a one-year low for this one. If we look at the Inteleon VMAX, this one's actually done fairly well, but very, very consistent over the past year. In July, it hit a one-year low of $21.68. It ballooned in October with a lot of these other alternate arts hitting $30.65. So that was about 30% growth over that 2-month standpoint. It's only lost about 10% since October, sitting at $27.83 currently. The Celebi V, probably my favorite alternate art from the set. I love the look of this card. I think it's beautiful. Criminally cheap. I love the fact that this card is so cheap, so very available for a lot of people. In July of 2022, it was at a one-year low of $20.81. Jumped all the way to $37.36 in December. And then, like a lot of these other cards, it has gone backwards now. It's lost about $10, so a significant portion of what it gained. So it's sitting at $27.71 currently. Genesect V also doing the same thing as what we just saw from the Celebi. It's lost about half of what it's gained. In August of 2022 is really when it hit its low of $20.68, then blew up, hit $27.94, so gained about 40%, 30% over a 3-month stretch, and then in December it lost half of that back, so it's sitting at $23.24 currently. The Mew V Full Art, definitely heading in the downward direction as well, just like the Rainbow Rare. $20.32 is where this was sitting in May of 2022, really kind of hit a wall right away, and then in July started more of a consistent pattern of just heading downward. In March of 2023, it hit that one-year low of $14.17. Now it's sitting at $15.56. The Greedent V, not a very popular alternate arts, are definitely one of the cheaper ones, but still more expensive than that Sandaconda. In June of 2022, it was at a one-year low of $10.43, and then slowly started to gain ground. Didn't have as much of an impact in October like what we saw from these other alternate arts, but did hit $15.15 in December. Now it's backed off. It's lost half of what it's gained, sitting at $12.08 currently. The Fire Energy, this one was sitting at $7.55 in December of 2022. It's gained a little bit of that back. It's sitting at $9 currently. But really, Secret Rare Energies are very interesting to me. As they print more, prices just continue to decline. I think a lot of players are kind of graduating more towards different styles of energies and not necessarily focusing on the gold energy cards anymore because they like other varieties better. So that's everything that we're going to look at when it comes to Fusion Strike. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, hit that subscribe button down below, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about the whole Fusion Gate fiasco that's going on, where your thoughts kind of are, what you think about my opinions, I guess. I hope you do enjoy the content. If you do, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the link in the description below to get your entry for our 100K giveaway. I'm going to stop rambling because it's been like 17 minutes, and hopefully there's still some people watching. But I will talk to you guys soon. Until next time, peace!